So episode 2. Thanks for
002.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, Jared.
Yep.
Glad to be here.
Yeah. So if you want to give everybody a little bit of backstory on what you do and who you are.
I'm from Trinity, North Carolina. I raced my whole life since I was 9, from quarter midgets, legend cars, late models, and now super late models, late model stocks now. But lived a pretty interesting life from up from racing to being in the Navy with my wife currently, and traveling around and living different places. So it's been quite an adventure.
Cool deal. So I think you're getting back into the old into the seat. What, next week is going to be the first race for 2024?
Yeah, for me. Unfortunately, it's a little later than I want it to be, but glad to be back next week. We'll see.
Is this just because of the injury?
Yeah, I got hurt right before the season, so kind of set me back a couple months.
Yep, that's never fun.
No.
Especially
At least it wasn't. At least I didn't miss the whole season, so that was good.
Yeah.
Go
ahead.
Oh, what's the race you're going to?
It's going to be a Cars Tour race at Caraway Speedway.
Late model stocks or pro late models?
No, late model stocks.
Are they running pro late models?
I think so. Yeah.
Nice.
I haven't really. I keep up with it, but I haven't really kept up with it like I have been since I've been out of it. When I'm kind of in the thick of things, you kind of keep up with more and all, but I haven't really paid attention to much of it, really.
I think that's kind of like the standard for anything that you're doing. Like if you're into, running at the time, you're following along a lot more with it. If you're fishing, you're
kind of in the thick of things, talking to everybody. I still talk to people. Like I was more in it when it first started. Watched it on TV on the weekends and stuff, and kind of kept up with it. Talked to people after the race and kind of kept up with it, but it kind of got a little frustrating because watching it, sitting there on the couch sucks, and so I kind of let it go and get refocused when I was back in it.
Yeah, thank God for like flow racing.
Yeah,
like those flow racing's the new, like it's kind of like almost like the pay-per-view for racing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Every race you can imagine, dirt, asphalt, legends cars, late models, wing sprint cars, dirt late models, it's all on there.
Yeah. AJ come to my house and he tried to.
Oh yeah, we were watching the snowflake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
When y'all were out there last year.
Yeah.
We were you had a little barbecue
there Monday.
But then it got rained out that night.
Yeah.
So so we didn't really get to watch much.
Yeah.
I think there was like a football game on or something like that instead.
My wife, she loves it during the summer because, like this time, there'd be racing from Monday to Sunday. Like last night, I think it was, there was a sprint car race on.
Oh,
There'd be a dirt late model race on tonight.
Yeah.
Sprint car race tomorrow. Late model race. It's something on always. It's good.
There was like another channel or something, Fuel or because Mike watches
Racing America is another big one, but it
Yeah.
seems like they're always a little bit behind.
Well, even
flow.
these little local, dirt tracks, they're kind of covering on some kind of network or channel.
Yeah.
They're just watching them on
Mostly
TV.
probably Flow. Flow's covered a lot.
Okay, maybe
Flow
that's what it
Racing.
is, yeah.
They sponsored Kyle Larson.
Okay.
You've probably seen it on his car.
Yeah.
But they've done a huge job, man. I don't know what to think about it as far as, it's good and bad, I guess, because like some people think, oh, it's on Flow Racing, like the fans aren't going to go to the racetrack,
Right.
So there's always that argument. People's not going to go to the racetrack. They're going to sit at home and watch it on Flow, which is the case sometimes. But I feel like if somebody's going to want to go to the racetrack and see it in person, they're going to go.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You know.
At least there's an option. At least it keeps the,
Yeah.
convenience of the sport, to keep it alive even if it goes that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they get a lot of views, man, and like, from people from California or wherever can watch the race in North Carolina and keep up with it. I feel like that's the car show, especially lately, is really taken off like that. I feel like I've started seeing more fans throughout the country now than just in our region there.
Yeah,
especially obviously with the names it has behind the series now. So kind of excited to get back to it.
Yeah, there was three. Dale Jr., Justin Marks, and Kevin Harvick.
Yeah,
they all went. They all went in and essentially bought this late model series.
Sweet.
So like that's at the beginning of the year it was everything. That's all everybody talked about was who was going to be at the Cars Tour races, and then that's kind of the same thing that Dale Jr. runs some of the races off and on. Obviously it's just free promotion for them, and they're definitely putting people in the stands on those races.
It's awesome, man. I love it when he does, because it's so good. Even for us, I feel like, I guess the first Wilkesboro race was 2021, 22. I can't remember. Whenever we raced at Wilkesboro for the first time, that's when Junior ran, and he kind of got all that together and raced on the old pavement. The place was like very original, and it was badass. And that was when they filled the stands. I mean, it was like standing room only. It was crazy, because I was like, dude, I'm telling you, like, I tell everybody this, and it was so cool, because like when we rolled off of the front straightaway for pace laps, like I could hear the roar in the crowd, like never before heard that. There were so many people there, and it was because of him. Right. So I think it's good when he comes and races with us. At least I think so. I mean, it brings more fans to it.
Yeah, for sure. And then, someone at that point is, chasing their dream as well.
Yeah.
Now, have you turned laps lately here in the last month?
Yeah, I ran a NASCAR Tour Type Modified at Caraway a couple weeks ago. Okay. A friend of mine that we help here and there, he was testing, and I happened to be in North Carolina, so it kind of worked out. Jumped in his car, made a few laps. Kind of like riding a bike.
You probably already said this, but when's the race?
Next Wednesday. July 3rd, yep.
And that's taking place where?
Caraway Speedway in Asheboro, North Carolina.
Okay, North Carolina.
Yeah, that series mostly stays within Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina.
Do you feel like the midweek races are like better or worse? Like, logistically, it sounds like it might be a little bit more of a nightmare sometimes for like a smaller team, I guess, versus somebody that has, the dedication, like, dedicated crew members and shop guys and stuff like that to get the car there and the average Joe that's got to take off work and whatnot.
Yes and no. I mean, honestly, at this point, everybody is almost like does it full time or kind of professional at it. There's not many part timers or like average Joes, I'd say, doing it. So some people I hear complain about it, but I think it's great, man. I feel like we get a better fan count. Like last year, which Larson ran with us last year at this race, and the place was packed out. It was awesome. The Wilkesboro races were midweek races. We had another one that was a midweek race, and I thought it was good. I think the viewers on Flow is really good too.
Well, that's what that was going to be my next question, was like the fans.
Yeah.
If how many people actually show up on like the midweek races, because like those people that got to be at work the next day, especially on a Wednesday, it's kind of a odd, an odd part of the week if you got to get up on Thursday and go to work.
Yeah, I think it's better. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but just thinking about it, what I've seen, I feel like it would be better because Wednesdays not much going on now. Like you get Saturdays, people's got so much stuff they can go and do. Even myself, like I missed some of the car tour races because we were out doing stuff or wasn't home to watch it. And obviously wasn't there to go see it either. So it's like they got a lot of other stuff to do. So Wednesday, I feel like they can watch it online at least. So
I bet the flow numbers are way better during the week.
And of course too, it helps in the situations we've run midweek races. Larson and Junior's been there, so that always helps.
So now how does that work for like Wednesday you start qualifying? Is that it? And then when's the main, let's just clear this up. I'm not the best race car guy in the world here.
No, yeah.
So asking questions and, so don't take it back like I'm retarded at home, guys. This podcast is more close to my brother-in-law or something. But like my understanding is you just have qualifying or hot laps or something like that is what it's called.
Yeah, so essentially all our races are one-day shows that they call it. Okay. This is a good question because everybody asks. Nobody really knows like what it goes into race day for us. You know what I mean? Like because a lot of other events like you have to pre-qualify for it. So like our deal is everything's kind of condensed to one day. We usually get there between 10 and 11, and then practice will start between 12 or 1, and we usually have 2 or 3 practice sessions depending on the schedule, and then we'll qualify You know, we have breaks in between practice and qualifying. We'll qualify, and then our races are impound. So like once we qualify, we can't touch the car. So like what you qualify with is what you got. You line it back up on the front straightaway pit road there, and then we race later that night.
Good.
And our races are typically 125 laps. Occasionally we'll have a couple of the bigger races like coming up now, Triple Crown Series and stuff is 200. Those be what we call pit stop races, which are not live pit stops, but we still change tires and put fuel in.
Yeah, that was my next question. So with the 125 lapper, you're pretty much on the same set of tires and fuel.
Yeah.
So,
is there any kind of strategy you can do with like on those, like the halfway pit stops and stuff like that?
Yeah,
like doing
if the format works out. Yeah, there's some good races where the format works out where we can throw some strategy in it, and I like that. But like then there's some of the races where they make us, I think we only get like 2 pit stops, so like everybody comes down, like they have controlled cautions. So like, you know, if it's a 200 lap race, we got 100 and 150 are controlled cautions. Well, everybody's coming down at 100, whether they're getting tires or fuel, one of the two, and then everybody's going to come back down at 150 because they got to get tires or fuel. If they got tires the first time, they got to get fuel the second time. You know, so that really no strategy there because you can't skip it. You know what I mean? Tires are so important, and obviously you got to have fuel or you run out. But like the tracks, or not tracks, but the races that we ran, like Thanksgiving Classic's actually a really good one. I enjoyed that race a lot. It's when a caution comes out, it's a control caution. So like you never know when a caution is going to come out. You know, it might be around 100. It might be lap 30. You might not have another one for lap 130. You know what I mean? So you kind of take the gamble, and that's always been fun because the last couple years, I know last year or 2 years ago in 22 when we ran second there to Josh Berry, like we had a totally different strategy than he had. And then the guy that ran third had a totally different strategy than we had and different than Josh. So that was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah.
And that's kind of rare for us because, like I said, our races are always straight-up races, you know, 125, maybe a couple competition cautions, but you never pit. And the races are so competitive, like it's hard to pit to make an adjustment and come back through the field.
How many cars are in it usually?
What do they start, 28 this year, I think? Like, they've been cracking down on that. Like, you know, we'll average, I think, 25 to 30 something, you know. But this year they've been sending cars home. I think they only start 28 now. So, like, if we get 30 cars qualify, 2 of them are going home.
So are you pulling your name from a hat to see where you figure you sit at in the poll, or you know, are you qualifying for like a time to place in the poll?
Yeah, we qualify and then we start straight up. So obviously fastest is on the pole and all the way down.
But now there is some crap on like dirt or something where you have to go and pull a random thing out of a hat or something, right?
Yeah. Well, even pro late models do that a good bit with, or like any a lot of the races
they'll redraw the top 5 or roll a dice, like the pole sitter roll a dice and whatever it lands on they invert that much. But
I've been around a little bit.
Yeah. Those are I don't know.
We'll have to dip into his mini cup days.
Oh no! We're just gonna talk about that. No.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Well, Mike was big mini cup driver. You know what I'm saying? Like him and Tuffy Carrig.
Yeah. Well, I remember. Yeah, I remember. But I remember seeing an old Cat 31 out there with Brian Dutcher on the roof.
Yeah.
I want to see pictures of this now.
I want to see him cram in one.
Yeah, well, that was even. I think I could barely get into that. In that thing, I don't know.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say like that's some of the like Bandoleros are really bad. I think mini cups worse than Bandoleros.
Yeah. Gosh,
are they even doing that anymore?
Yes, they run the same tracks we do. It scares the shit out of me.
I think that place Mike used to go to all the time was up like Georgia. Was there?
Were y'all going? I think y'all were going to Jasper.
Yeah.
Right there on the Florida Georgia line.
Florida Georgia. Yeah.
What track was that?
It's just a little
Jasper Motorplex.
Yeah.
Oh,
they got like a
little circle.
They had a asphalt oval, and they got their dirt oval still pretty popping. Like they always have like the World 100 for go karts every year.
Was it? How big was the track?
Quarter mile, but it's like a big quarter mile.
Yeah, I don't know, buddy. Give me a gosh darn go kart. I'm a driver, okay? I'm just a driver. Let me drive your car.
Well, that's what everybody wants. Yeah, they don't want all the other stuff that comes along with it. They just want to jump in and go, show up, arrive and drive.
Yeah, like I said, which I got video and stuff, but went to Utah one time, popped into this like Autobahn thing.
Yeah.
God dang, Tony Stewart's in there. And Papa John's guy. There's a couple. There's a big, who was the big, I don't know if he was motocross or what, or maybe it was the rally truck driver. I don't know. There's a group of them guys in there racing this stuff. That guy's spinning, numbers like it's, I couldn't even touch. Now, the people that I was racing with, I beat them all down.
I was waiting to hear you wrecked them all.
No wrecking. Now, the Goonie Golf days, the 12-year-old, come in, bump them on the end, whatever y'all call it, fender. But no, like I'm very competitive. You ever done the Autobahn thing?
It's like not K1.
Yeah, I've been to. I haven't been to the Autobahn go-kart place, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. In North Carolina, we got a really badass one, GoPro Motorplex. It's legit.
Yeah.
Like,
so I don't know, but it'll take it out. Now there's something they can do, like limiters. They control it through a computer system or something, but like they let it balls out whenever them guys.
They're all electric though, aren't they?
Yeah,
like
all electric.
Yeah,
they turn them up for
smoke.
And that's what he up on the screen. Smoke. That's what was on the screen.
Is GoPro gas or electric?
Yeah, gas.
Yeah,
that is fun.
That's the ticket.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I remember when I was like, I had to be like 12, 13, and it was you could go to Adventure Landing and get like an all-day go-kart pass.
100%.
And then I think we got kicked out three races in, and you had to call your parents to come pick you up, and they're like, 100%. "Well, we bought that all day," and it's like, man,
it didn't last.
Especially you get three other kids that like race go-karts. Dude, y'all are out there just shucking each other.
And nobody ever takes it serious when you're in that situation. Yeah, I don't.
And then we had like one friend, his dad showed us how to like do the governor.
You used to reach around it.
Like you hit the back stretch and you see everybody like take their arm out of the belt. That or I think you could you could
pull the cable. We used to pull the cable, so you'd have your foot smashed to the ground.
Yeah.
But if you reached over here, you could grab the or the rod.
Yeah.
And just pull it from the whatever that shit's called. But you would pull it more. Bam, dude. Yeah. We should. I wish we had videos.
I know.
I forget where it was, but we used to do that. Like you could reach around and grab the throttle body and hold the thing wide open because the pedal wouldn't let it go wide open. You hold the thing wide open, that thing would dig.
Yeah, those were between that and then just lighting up like people that shouldn't be out there, like the soccer moms and stuff.
Yes.
Especially when you get a group of like real racers out there, dude. They're in the way.
That happened to me. I felt so bad. We come up and you can't tell who's who when you're behind them. And we come up on this slow car and we just punt her. Found out it was a girl. We punt the person right out of the way, and then after the race, we get out and she takes me home. She's crying and telling her husband about it. I'm like, we're gonna be in trouble here.
Yeah,
it was.
It hurts. There's something that like
hurts your feelings.
Well, no. Every like, time or two the old seatbelt come together, but you spin someone around and then someone catches you head on. That's when you get rocked because you figure you're there in that seatbelt, no helmet.
No,
dude. There's many times as we done it. Literally, there's just like you said, we get kicked out, but. We're on top of each other. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're from North Carolina. Yeah,
no fear at that age.
Was you at the Blanding one when you was a kid?
That was when we got kicked out of like instantly.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, the good thing, it was either we got kicked out for the governor thing, or we got kicked out for loading people up. It was one or the other. Yeah.
But the good thing there for us, we were getting our money's worth because I don't think my aunt was going to come and pick us up. So at least we still had golf. Laser tag and like some tokens to play games. I guess you guys just hardcore race car.
Yeah, we weren't there for anything else other than wheeling those things.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So
I wonder if kids still do that. Like,
no, I don't even know.
I definitely. That's we were probably like the last phase of the all day go kart rides. After that, they were like, dude, we can't do this. Like, the damage.
It was I remember doing it a couple times at Myrtle Beach, and it was very popular up there. Go-kart riding and putt-putt, that's everywhere up there.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to do it and get kicked out there and cause problems.
Yeah, I think...
I guess nowadays they do it on iRacing.
Yeah, right. Technology. Because I remember we were at the WKA banquet in 2001, and everybody from the banquet went to Victory Lane karting.
Oh, yeah.
And, then there'd be so like I don't even know how many people were on the track at one time, but then there'd be like that one random like girl out there, and dude, it was like she would just get loaded up in every corner, and then everybody had their helmets. Like it was that was the fun stuff. Like it was good times then. But yeah, definitely not anymore.
That's what I was just thinking. I wouldn't do that nowadays.
No, well,
I feel like I'd get hurt.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I'm telling you, like you're in this open go-kart, it's like you see the video online, the dude spins somebody or whatever and hits the wall, like flips end over end and like lands back on all four. Like, me would land right on my head.
In Tennessee, they got all them little Pigeon Forge, I guess. Which I think we did a family Christmas up there not like a year or two ago, and obviously all the kids and youngins and everybody, we took them there and had a whole they had a great time. But me and my brother are like, are we really going to go back down this? Are we going to relive this? Are we going to turn our kids sideways and are we going to take them out?
Yeah, it's called life lessons.
Yeah, and because once you get that, you just get someone on the inside, that turn, just doom, you're spinning around, the next part, boom, just done, lights out. My abs are hurting right now thinking about it.
Oh yeah,
I was a little bit heftier then too,
I remember showing up to. We went down to like the IndyCar race in Homestead one time, and then a group of us went to K1 afterwards. And I like literally just brought my helmet. I had gloves, and then you put like you show up with like your racing shoes on. And it's like, dude, we mean business. Like we're here for only one thing, and good times.
So funny. Yeah, I haven't done that in a while, but.
Did you ever go to Daytona USA? Like, do their big? It was like, I guess this was like pre iRacing. Like they had the big, you get in like the cars, and they had like a dozen of them. I think Concord Mills had one. It was kind of similar, same setup, but
were they 2-seaters?
No, it's just like essentially a big simulator.
Oh, okay.
And it had like their projection screen around. Like this is like shows you how old it is. Like the projection screen, but you go and do like I think it was pretty much like Daytona or like Daytona, and that was really the only option. So you'd go and just bump draft the whole time. It was good. It was fun. I remember we went to when I was real small. I was probably like 11, and it was like right in the midst of the go-kart days. We had went to Disney World, and they had a Daytona USA like almost like a tournament, and like I think I made it to like it was like the semifinals or something, and so I was like the last 6, and some dude just like dumped me going into like remember like on the old like there was like you could go through like turn 3, and you'd always have to like just kind of dig on somebody. And this dude wrecked me with like 2 to go, and I remember just like bawling my eyes out. Like I was so sad. I thought that was like my chance to go NASCAR by winning this like Daytona USA arcade game. But yeah, that was quite the heartbreak.
So going, obviously you have this race next Wednesday. Is like 2025 going to be full schedule for you, or? Are you picking and choosing at this point?
Who are you driving for now?
Still driving for Jimmy Morin, and then Kendall Sellers and AK Performance keeps the car up. So we started that, I guess, beginning of last year. Before that, it was my dad when we started running for Jimmy in 2020, and ended in 22. That was awesome. I'm sure you know how it is racing with your dad. There's nothing like it. And everything we've ever done, my whole family's been a part of it, racing growing up. My sister's been there when, my whole family go to racetrack when quarter midget race, and then even now, like my sister and her kids come to the late model races. So my mom's really involved with it too. So it's been good. It's been fun.
Who you got spotting for you? You like Bubba Pollard? You got your sister up there?
No, I got Tony White spots for me, man. He's been with me since I started racing late models. It's funny. We were headed to the race or whatever, and I needed a spotter, and I just happened to text somebody. They're like, I think I can get somebody. Well, have him be Tony. Well, it's ever since then, like we kind of hit it off and just clicked and worked really well. So he's only missed a few races. He's pretty much spotted for me full time since probably 2015, 16.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
Your wife loves it?
Yeah. She likes to go for me, obviously.
Right.
She wouldn't go for somebody else. Or
I see her going for like Dale Jr.
She might not tell me. But so like 20. So I pretty much run full time, whether super late models, late model stocks, and then went back super race, and then went to late model stocks in 20. So I've been pretty much full time late model racing since, I guess, 15, 16, 17, somewhere in that range. And then.
How old are you now?
30.
Oh, man.
Yes.
All right. Well, like I said, this might be another dumb question, but it's like 602 motor or what? Like crate engines or?
We kind of, not real. No, it's not a crate. We got kind of a specialized motor, I would call it. Like we have what they call basically a parts motor. Like anybody can build it, but you got to use these certain parts. Okay. It's still a small block Chevy.
Right.
And they make probably 500, 520, I would assume.
And then that's what's the car you're racing this Wednesday? What's it called?
A late model stock.
Yeah, late model stock. And then like in the super, that's anything, right? Or is there still restrictions?
They still got restrictions. Okay. They got more power. They got dry sump motors. Suspension's a little different. They got offset built in their car. Like our car, I'm sure you've seen, but we have truck arms on our cars. Okay. You know, like the old pickup. Yeah. We have steering box on our car. You know, okay. Supers run rack pinions. Yeah. Their cars are built a little bit lighter. They got some better brakes and stuff than our cars. Our cars have really evolved the last 5-6 years. Same with the motors. Like they used to run 2 barrels. I don't know what they made. I drove them once and it felt like they made 300 horsepower. So like now that we got 4-barrel better motor, like the racing's really good, and I feel like it's a lot better. You know, we're not necessarily leaning more towards a super, but like the power wise we are.
Does like gear come like into play or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just like, you know, do you get to travel or are we always racing at, what's this track again?
Caraway. No. Caraway. Well, you can do either. With the late model stocks, you can either run locally. You know, there's some people that run like only one track.
Right.
But I've been pretty much running the series, like I said, since I started running.
Okay.
I pretty much run the Cars Tour for the last, I don't know, 6-8 years, I believe.
So that's kind of your home track, really?
Caraway is, yeah. That's actually where I ran my first race. Won my first late model race, my first super late model race. Caraway's been really good to me.
Sweet.
But like I said, that series runs different tracks. Like they might go to on there. They got 17 races I think this year. They only go to like 4 tracks twice, maybe.
Wow.
You know, so they hit different racetracks. That's what's kind of fun and good about it. You know, I'm sure you can kind of relate with the fishing. Like it's always different. You know, where if you go to the same, you know, if you're on one racetrack, like it's pretty much you gotta figure it out. Like us, like we don't ever know what we're getting in. Like you, like this week, we're going to test on Thursday, and I told them before because I've done this many times. We can go test and get that thing dialed and feel really good about it. Be fast, drive good. We show up on Wednesday and we could be out to lunch.
Yeah,
the track just changes so much. You know, when you get more cars there, things change. The weather, I know it don't sound like much. It's still gonna be hot both days, but overcast versus rainy or something. Like if it rains a day before the race and the track's wet and seeps, that one is really bad for it. It's going to be totally different. So it's I kind of like it, you know, being more experienced in racing. You know, I used to feel like I was at disadvantage going into a race after I heard people were testing. You know, I'm sure it's just like pre-fishing, you know what I mean? Like it's very relatable. So you know, if we're at the shop working and we hear somebody's testing on Tuesday, we race Friday or Saturday, whatever, you know, I feel like we're behind the 8 ball. Like we need to go, you know, but then we show up to the racetrack and they'll be out to lunch or something, you know what I mean? Because like what they learned on Tuesday is not the same for Friday, Saturday. So that's been good. And like I said, being more mature, I've kind of been able to just kind of overlook that and not worry about that.
Yeah, I'm sure no one ever stretches the truth a little bit on test days either, huh?
Oh, Everybody,
a 10th or 2 here, 10th or 2 there.
Everybody that goes and tests is their fastest thing.
Yeah,
ask everybody in racing.
See,
they're the fastest
he
thing.
He hates fishing. It's the same thing. It's just like pre-fishing day. You can catch them all the day before. It don't matter. If you ain't showing up on tournament day, then conditions can change, fish can move. This guy, relates. Yeah, and everyone's fibbing. Oh, you caught any? Hell no, I ain't seen crap.
Well, that's what he and I were talking about yesterday. Was he was like, "Oh, I texted Brian over the weekend during that tournament." And he kept telling me he didn't have no fish. And he's like, I know he was lying to me. I know he was lying to me.
I wasn't mad about it because, I know where you're at. Like,
no, I would never.
My roles are flipped right now in the fishing world. I'm the rookie. Like in racing, I'm the veteran. Like, I know, what I mean? I got people that look up to me and ask me the same kind of questions and information.
I wouldn't lie to you. But honestly, I lie to a lot of people. But honestly,
Yeah, it sounds like it's kind of the same thing, only 60% true.
It was just tough, man. It was tough at the end of the day. And like I said, it's very – and for me to run around like I did, I was very efficient with my time and just couldn't put it together.
Well, what tournament was it?
It's called the King Buster. It's actually Don Dingman actually said that he's done. He's turning over to his daughter and son-in-law. But yeah, I've been fishing that thing since I was a kid. And I don't know. The water was just so dirty.
Oh yeah, and I felt like we kind of knew that. Just like, this week leading up, it was rough. We went to the beach one day. Katie had off, went to the beach, and freaking 5-foot waves out there. Yeah. Just white capping as far as you can see it. And it was nasty all week. Yeah, we didn't know what it was going to do.
Well, not only that, there was a 2-day tournament that got turned into 1 day.
Correct. That's the biggest kicker for me. There's no excuses. But like I said, if we wouldn't have had kids on the boat, we would have made a run because, it was just no reason to beat up. I don't even, I'm almost 40 now. Honestly, I don't want to get beat up no more. And like I said, we're in a decent boat. A lot of guys are running a lot bigger boats. We're in a 32 yellowfin, but like I said, we made about a 14-mile run offshore, and that was enough for the kids. And they've been doing it their whole lives. They're ready to rock and roll, but it's not enjoyable. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you're where we could run 55, 50. Maybe if it's flat, run up to 60 mile an hour. You can get off there pretty good if I want to make a 40-mile run. We're in 3 to 4s, occasional 5s out there. You gotta keep it. You'll hit 30 for a little while, and you get your back broke out of you for a little bit, and then you'll get back down to 20. So just to make a 10-mile move, it's taking you. Yeah. I'm not no mathematician, but instead of something that should take a couple minutes, it's taking 30 minutes. You know.
Yeah, it's funny not to go down the fishing rabbit hole, but later with me moving and like I was gonna say earlier, it's like I ran full time up until 22, and then that's when I was like kind of wanted to back off. Yeah. Like I just 21 especially, like 20 we had a really good year, raced a lot, won a championship. 21 we just didn't run good. Like we ran good, we just couldn't crest it and get the win. And so I kind of got a little burnt out at the end of the year because like we could run top 5, but that was like the best we were going to do. Yeah. And I was just like, all right, we just need to stop right here and just regroup and go at it next year. And next year I just want to pick and choose what races we go to. Don't run full time. Don't be trying to – because I felt like I kind of got the routine of going to racetrack and not really methodical about it, And so I was like, look, let's just pick the racetracks, be 100% prepared, and like, people's always kind of I wouldn't say pointed at me, but labeled me as like a championship racer, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
Like might not win 10 races a year, but could win a championship. And I guess there's some truth to that. So I was a little bit, I don't know, sour towards that. I was like, I don't like that. I want to go win races because like that is, at the end of the day, I feel like that's the big thing. Like it don't matter what you do or where you're at, like winning races is it, you know. So then 22, we kind of, like I said, pick and chose, and that's when we, I know it don't sound like a lot, but 3 races we won that year was all $10,000 races, and that was like big races too we won. So like that was really good. And so like I said, we kind of scaled back to like not really part-time, just not full-time, and so that was great. So, and then too, at that point I was moving even further from the race shop and being less involved in it, unfortunately, and then now being even further from the race shop and is not involved in it as I'd like to be. It's kind of worked out to kind of run that schedule, once, twice a month, whatever it is, and not run every week. And it kind of leads me into the fishing thing. Is like fishing's kind of my getaway now from the racing, but also to still use that, I don't know what you call it, but like brain power to figure things out. You know what I mean? Like I kind of treat it like racing. It's like, all right, this is the conditions we're dealt with. This is what we need to do. Obviously, I'm still learning a lot, leaning on you a ton, probably too much, but it's kind of like my racing, I feel like.
He said that the guys at the pier almost kicked his ass because he was too close to the pier.
Oh, yeah, I meant to tell you. I haven't talked to you. But
buddy, I told you to stay away from the pier. Like I said, stay off the pier. Them guys are going to wreck you.
Oh, dude. It was so funny. Like, we were like, they couldn't cast to us. Like, right. I could see their lines. Like, they couldn't cast to us. But they were pissed. They were like, you got the whole ocean. Yeah. We're like, we're trying to win a tournament. You're not.
Yeah.
Brian
so anyways.
Okay.
But no, I did. I said, if you go to the pier, stay off them guys. Them guys are going to wreck you.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then, not to, say you did hook up close there, and for whatever reason the fish runs that way, which I wouldn't, usually a big fish is going to run offshore.
Right.
If it picks up a bait and it runs offshore, 9 times out of 10, it's a pretty good fish.
Yeah.
But, their fighting is,
I get it.
No, and I'm, but if you weren't even remotely close, then I'd have been like,
That's why I didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
And it was so funny because we got just past the pier, and we're looking, we're like, man, they're splashing. There's a bunch of splashing up in the water. But I'm like, it's from about the end of the pier to the beach, though. Like, that ain't no fish. And as it got closer, I see little yellow things bobbing in the water, and it was people swimming. It was, I guess it's the lifeguards or something. Yeah. Somebody out there training and swimming. Well, guess what they do? Swim right by the pier, in between where we were and the pier. And them dudes, well, before we get to the pier, there was an osprey picking up their bait, and they're hollering at the thing. Finally, it picked up their bait and got hooked, so they're pissed already. Then we ride by. Then the swimmers, I was like, oh, they're done. Yeah, it was funny. We only rode by twice and then left.
AJ does have some good fishing stories that you'll have to ask him about later in life. But,
Well, I only have one claim to fame, and it was catching a fish that's too big, which I never heard of, and I had to give it back. I was ready to fillet it on the boat, and then he's like, dude, it's too large. You gotta throw it back in. I was like, what do you mean it's too large?
Yeah.
And then here we were. But it's only that. But I didn't want to say anything, but I did save Brian's boat one time.
Oh God!
Save it?
No.
Save it, man. It was after we were like in the middle of a fishing day over there in a secret spot. I don't want to give it away because that's where I caught all my fish. And but there's these big concrete pylons, and he had his little trolling motor remote around his neck, trying to look all cool like a fisherman. But he was already like probably 4 or 5 like Mangaritas in. So I think everything was kind of skewed anyways. And he was standing at the front of the boat, and the tide was going out, I think it was. And I don't know, was it?
It was
going out or going in?
Yeah, it was going out.
And it was, man, the water was flying. I was like, I couldn't believe it. And the first time I ever experienced anything like that. And then his troller motor had been running this whole time to keep us in one spot. Finally, the battery died, and dude, his boat took off like with the current, and so he runs and jumps on the front of the boat, and he's like, we're heading straight to one of the concrete pylons, and I guess he thought he was gonna stop it. So I was like, oh my God, like we're going way too fast. He's not gonna like stop his boat. So I threw it in reverse, like probably 5 feet before we got there, and so he went flying off the front of the boat, and then but his boat was saved, and then. He come like, he looked like a cat that just fell in the pool, getting out of the water. Yeah. And I think he sobered up real quick.
That was pretty accurate. Other than...
Is this the boat you got now?
No, this was, 10, 12 years ago. Me and Miley were thinking, knowing AJ.
Well, I just showed you. I showed you the picture of that red that I caught. I don't remember the date. It had to be like it was probably 8 years ago.
Yeah, maybe. I'm thinking
because that was before that. It was before my his wife met my wife, and then she left her Daisy Dukes on the boat.
Yeah,
and
she was like coming out and cleaning the boat. I was in my Hughes Red Fisher, and I don't know, Miley. I was cleaning the boat out, and Miley was kind of helping me, and she goes under the console and she pulls out these freaking Daisy Dukes. I'm talking about, yeah. She's like, "Whose are these?" And I was like, "Babe, they're AJ's wife's, for sure,
for sure."
So, and then later in life, we how long you been married?
November will be 8 years.
Yeah, so it was before that. So, like I said, it was well before.
Oh yeah,
that.
so it probably it'd have been like 9.
Yeah, 10. That's what we were trying to figure out.
9 or 10.
So, but yeah, everything was accurate on the story except for I knew the current was definitely running, but I knew that because all I was going to do was get to the pylon and then tie off with a rope.
I was scared.
Yeah, AJ back there, he's like taking
non-fisherman, non-boater.
Yeah, he
jumps in action.
Yeah, well, he jumps in action. Yeah, and I didn't have
my dad instincts kicked in long before I had kids.
Yeah, so literally, and I'm just gone.
Jeez.
Thank God we survived.
And the boat didn't get tore up.
Yeah, which AJ was running the boat. I had a couple drinks. I didn't run the boat at all that day. AJ got us there safely and got us home safely, and he was doing good.
Yeah,
that's funny. I have a similar story about stuff left on my boat. My wife finding it. This was like recent actually. A buddy of mine, they all come up. We took my boat out, went cruising, and his wife left her earrings on my boat. Same deal. Katie was looking for something. She's like, "Whose earrings are these?" I'm like, "Those are Caitlin's, friend of mine's wife." I'm like, "That's so funny," because that was after I heard your story.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, I guess it's gonna happen."
But like I said, she was cool, but she was definitely like, "What's going on?"
It is kind of funny.
And I don't even know if I was fishing so much
it does
back
look
then.
Bad.
Yeah, like literally on the water, at least 6 days a week, really back then, and I was just gone all the time. I don't even think I told her that I was taking you. I think we just showed up at the boat ramp that morning, and yeah, old Shanoa.
Yeah, I think we caught two. I caught 2 reds.
Yeah,
and
it was actually
something else.
It was a slow day, honestly, Todd. But then we had to keep taking pee breaks.
You or him?
No, Shanoa.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah,
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that. We had to keep going to the shore because she wouldn't just jump in the water.
Yeah, with the sharks.
She's not a pro, man. You just gotta
that's what
squat off the back.
A long time ago. You gotta figure that time.
Which I guess that was. Did you meet her before that?
No, that was the first day I met her. Yeah, 100%. Never.
That makes sense.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, my boy's gonna take us fishing. My boy's gonna take us fishing."
Oh. He had the Toyota Tundra then.
That was Tundra?
Yep, 100%. The Lightning was already wrecked and crashed.
Well, I know, but I had my Silverado for a while after that.
Yeah, no, it was the Toyota, 100%.
I have had that thing for a while. Someone just asked me about that the other day. They're like, "Man, did you get a new truck?" I was like, "This is the same truck I've had for like 10 years."
Trying to figure out.
I was like, "Old girl is just sentimental value now."
See, I bet you forgot. You remember that morning we were late because we were hung on that stupid wreck, and you end up like having to go all the way down the Fernandina.
Because there was a fatality that morning.
And then you had to come back.
We got there at like 5 o'clock in the morning, or we were planning on getting there like 5 o'clock in the morning.
And I don't think we got in the water till 10.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, it was, all of Heckscher, I think it was closed.
Oh, wow.
And I remember Captain Vic Tyson was late as well. He had a charter that morning. We were trying to get out for that tide bite, that early morning bite. And we kind of found the back end of it, like I said, because we caught fish pretty early. And, yeah, it was a fun day. Definitely some memories there for sure.
It's so funny. We had a similar situation this year too. We took some new people out, never been fishing, and like, "Man, this thing would be awesome in a tournament." I was like, "Not really. It's too big." They're like, "How could it be too big?" Same deal. I'm like, "There's a slot here,
yeah,
and everywhere."
Yeah.
I feel like, and we're gonna have to throw him back. They're like, we don't get to keep him. Like, nah, it wasn't that big, but it was still over.
I never catch fish, so like, I was over the moon. Like that was,
he could catch fish a lot. He don't got the time. Like, he's just so busy, man. Like, I'd love him to go all the time. It's kind
of boring just sitting out there waiting for something to grab your line.
Well,
you want to go hunting? That is probably even more boring.
You can go. I don't want to just sit in a tree stand. I want to go like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Trek around. He wants to walk nonstop.
Yeah.
So we got to get him like out west or something, like some spot and stop.
Yeah.
So I got to.
Yeah, because he was telling me he's wanting to go hiking and live off the land for a couple of days. I'm like, yeah, you need to go west.
Yeah, definitely. Now he's selling this dang GPS in reach.
Because I ain't got nobody that wants to go with me.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds fun.
I told him we can go on a hunt. It's just expensive. He's like, I'm checking out.
No.
Not because of the money. Man's loaded.
No.
I mean, look at this beautiful place.
But, yeah, the guy, this is, like I said, this studio is bad to the bone.
Yeah.
And all kudos to the man.
Yeah.
Like, you?
No. AJ. Me. Yeah.
Well, I think we're just shooting. We're gonna have to. We were talking about building a sauna back there.
Honestly, yes.
We'll have to get a float tank.
Yep.
I think we'll just take inventory off a couple other podcasts and figure out what the studio needs on the back half.
Yeah.
And we already got a little.
What's the float tank? Oh, for the golf balls.
No, we're using a bucket for that.
Yeah.
I was telling a friend the other day. I was like, yeah. I said, Jared walked in the other day, and he was like, it was on a Monday morning right after Bryson won, and he was like, you got a bucket? And I was like, dude, we ain't floating golf balls.
I've been telling everybody about that. I'm so ready because like I understand the physics of that and how it can affect us. So I just so interested to see,
Yeah, no, it's definitely. I just suck so bad it don't even matter. So.
Same. And then when I do sink a long putt, it's like pure luck.
Yeah, me too. Or like my buddy Ryan, if he gets behind me and reads the putt, and it's like, if he gets behind me on any putt, I don't care if it's 70-footer, it's going in.
Just gets behind him in general.
Yeah. Well,
it's going in.
It's going in.
Yeah.
Dang, Brian.
No doubt.
Coming out of the closet on the podcast?
No. I've been trying to get AJ to go out a little bit more, but he's staying. He's like, I got to get my swing better before I go play any golf.
He keeps delaying the game. We were supposed to play when he got back from his trip to Switzerland.
Yeah.
And now we're 2 weeks post-trip. No.
I'm in the test. I'm in test and tune right now.
Well, we got to pull you off the practice squad eventually.
That's what I say.
I don't feel like losing like $40 in balls. That's my problem.
Sound like you just need to fill your bag up with range balls.
That's what I say.
Yeah,
but the problem is he's out there still taking a score. So if he hits a 27 balls on a par 4, he's counting 27.
Yeah, Tiger Woods would count 27.
I agree, but I just told him that we just need to go out there and just hit one drive it off the deck. Great. Go to your second shot. We'll just drop a couple balls at like 150. Hit it in from one. Just, we ain't got to keep score. We ain't got to do nothing.
I'm going to play 9-iron, sand wedge, putter. That's it.
I agree.
I'll make it down the fairway eventually.
He's a decent. He's got a decent golf swing. He just, like I said, my man's a triathlete, race car driver, golfer, hunter, fisher, beach goer. We got geo trackers. We're building custom trackers. Van camping.
Race car driver.
Yeah. We already got race car driver.
Race car driver. I'm watch enthusiast. Bourbon enthusiast.
Wine connoisseur.
Photographer. Full-time dad.
A lot of
Don't
hobbies.
forget about a business owner.
Yeah, business owner.
I'm not quite that level, but I still am. I feel like part-time savage. I feel you.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like mediocre at everything.
And that's where we come up with
That's
this.
what we were just That's what we were just talking about yesterday. We were like, he's like, well, why don't you just go like run full time? I'm like, first podcast host Owen told me, man, you're not really any good at running. You're not really any good at cycling, swimming. He's like, but when you put them all three together. I'm saying it could work.
Yeah.
It was so funny. I was telling AJ.
There's a chance.
There's a chance.
I was telling AJ yesterday, we were talking. It's like, if we really studied and like worked hard, like, could we be scratch golfers? I was like, I don't think so.
Awesome.
I think it's great that I play like I do because I don't think I could ever get any better in about everything I do. I feel like the only thing, obviously, racing that I've really studied and took serious for the last however long, but.
And that's kind of me with like fishing. It's just that's what I've been best at over the course of my life.
That's what I told AJ. It's like you either kind of got it and understand it and can do it, or you don't.
Well, golf, you can do that on Thursday and then completely forget it on Friday.
Yeah, like I done told
People
him.
do that in racing too.
Have you?
That's
so
true.
we were shooting bow competitions, right? My man, I've already told him what to do to fix all this.
Have a couple drinks.
Yeah, this sucker starts drinking. Dude's out there taking money then. He's like, what?
Settles down.
Oh, my God. Yeah, he's the man. That's why I told him with golf. He just takes it so serious, you know? And I'm like, he starts drinking. Sucker just pulls that bow bag, like, bam! And then he's got this outfit. Golly. Have you showed him the outfit?
And then you'd have to
From
know
bow
the back.
shooting?
Yeah, you'd have to know the backstory, though, of what's that guy's name?
Rut Daniels.
Yeah, Rut Daniels.
Have you ever heard of him?
No.
You got to look him
Didn't
up.
go 20. Didn't go 20. He's like stuck in the 80s.
He's got like it's this completely normal dude. He's related to
Carrie Underwood's husband, Mike. What's his name? The NHL.
Oh yeah.
Mike something. Anyway, it's his brother, but he actually lives in Canada.
Yeah, super normal looking dude. But then he's got this persona where he's got trucker hat, long like Joe Dirt hair, orange aviators, ripping them.
Yeah. Didn't go 20.
Yep.
I'd check it out.
Yeah, it's
Catching
definitely
deers.
Catching deers.
Yeah, shout out
like,
Catching Deers.
Yeah.
I'd check it out.
Yeah, it's legit. So my boy got the whole outfit, and when he puts that on, son,
Game over.
I'm not like AJ's definitely on point with all the fits.
Oh, dude, that's half the battle. Cycling, you got to have the kit.
Yeah.
You got to have like
the running. The running's probably my favorite. The jorts pushing the stroller, cut off sleeves.
I almost wore the
amazing.
jorts today, but I figured it wasn't. We were still trying to keep this a little bit classy.
Well, he's from North Carolina, so they fit right on in.
I know. Well, y'all nixed the vintage Dale Earnhardt T-shirt right before we went live.
Well, I seen how y'all were dressed for the first podcast, so I kind of had a.
I walked out the house with blue shorts on, and I was like, dude, I can't rock blue shorts today because I would have had the same shirt on. We'd have looked all matchy.
Yeah.
So it's probably for the best.
We'd probably have to cancel the podcast.
Yep. I'd had to go home.
I know you got spare clothes somewhere.
Just that Dale Earnhardt shirt.
Raising hell, praising Dale. Is that what it is?
Raise hell, praise Dale.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah.
Is it
that? And I could have wore the Pit Vipers. I got a pair of Pit Vipers too.
Yeah.
And some. I'll have to break out the New Balance like 925s.
Yes. Yeah. That was part of the jorts.
Yeah.
Fit when you're pushing the stroller. I think you had to.
Nah, Vaporflies. I was still there to win.
You're actually taking it serious then.
Yeah, I had actually had running shorts on underneath the jorts because I didn't want any chafes.
Imagine.
But when you run past people pushing a stroller wearing jorts, you take their soul pretty quick.
Oh, even not even the jorts, man. It's the stroller that does it for me.
Yeah, the fans get wild though. Like the people inside the road, they're loving it. Like they get hyped, especially when you give them like the.
Shanoa got to swat them off of you.
Yeah, that's part of the problem, especially when you roll up on the post race stand to get your age group medal. You know, it's pretty legit.
Was that Charlie?
Yeah, like 20 pounds ago.
Yeah.
So.
What? You ever ran like 5K?
Oh yeah.
Half marathon?
No, I never did anything like that. Actually, it really sucks because right before I got hurt, I was actually like getting my endurance built back up, running with my wife because she has to do a lot of PRTs, obviously, with the Navy and stuff. Yeah. So she kind of runs a decent amount through the week. And so I started going on runs with her and stuff, and she was wanting to do that Gate River. I was like, that sounds like fun. I was like, she was in way better shape than me. And I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to keep up, but I'd definitely like to try it.
Right.
Well, then I got hurt, so I was a cheerleader this year. So
he got hurt, and he was probably like, thank God I don't got to do the river run
now. Dude, it looks so much fun. Actually, it looks even... It looked better, I guess, from my view, because like we rode around with her parents. They come in town and watched it. It was fun. Like we rode around. And it's like, holy crap! There's like staying right there full of Fireball. There's donuts on that table. It looked like chicken on that table. There's a band.
Yep.
No, it's definitely fun.
It was cool.
It's which I had to sit on the sideline in Daytona whenever.
Oh yeah, we did the 15K.
Yeah, my gallbladder decided to rupture, and so I trained really hard because we were gonna do the. Was it called 3-peat or 3? We're doing the.
It's like 3. You do a 5K, 10K, 15K.
Yeah,
it's like the
back to back or like same day.
Over the Friday and a Saturday.
Yeah,
okay,
2 days.
The 15K starts across the street from the speedway.
Yeah,
and you run across the pedestrian bridge.
Yeah,
go into the track. You run a lap around the road course, like the Rolex 24 course, and then come back out the track, and then finish across the back in Daytona. One Daytona.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, really cool like course.
I was so sad.
That's like another fun thing about my life is like, we get to see and do new things. Like we've never done anything fun like that. Like we did the Casey Kane 5K. That was really cool downtown, around by the NASCAR Hall of Fame. But like we never, they never had fun runs like the Gate River where you run through the whole town. Yeah. Which I haven't done the Daytona deal, but like running at Daytona is really cool. I think they got like a lot more stuff at bigger cities, so it's been really cool to be a part of it or see it.
Yeah, there's I guess if you ran probably in downtown Charlotte, probably run real fast with all the and a pretty hood down there.
Well, yeah, we stayed away from that.
Put your wallet in your front
Tavola,
pocket.
I think it is, or whatever the rough one.
Where did we go? Were we in North Carolina when we went to like one restaurant? Going to Asheville or something?
No, we were going to. Yeah, we went to Pinky's.
Pinky's, yeah.
I was asking him about Pinky's. It was on Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they got like this. It's like a hurricane. I think you're only limited to like one per visit because it's so strong.
Is it big cup?
Yeah.
That I think is just like 15 liquors in one.
Oh, geez.
Like a hurricane, if you will. Yeah. But they I think there's 2 of them in Charlotte.
Yeah, we were there, right?
That's where we went on the way to Boone.
Yeah.
We went to that little ski trip.
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah.
Did Big Brian ever make it up to Daniel Boone in?
No.
We went.
Man,
I've been once. It wasn't. It was just man.
Well, the ham biscuits are definitely the best. It's not like. There's parts of the meal that's really good, and then other parts that's like don't even touch.
Yeah, I'm just not into. Did you and I go to that one year we went up to Lake Burton? We went to the Dillard House.
Yes. Yep.
It's just like that.
Okay. Yep.
But not as good.
Well, Rockies.
Oh yeah, Rockies.
Yeah, Rockies in Nashville. Yeah.
Oh dude. God, Lee, my mouth's watering right now.
Yeah.
There's one in Greenville now too. We went to the one in Greenville not too long ago, and there's a fraction of the people. And so you get in, get out, just as good.
There's a place here.
Bullbirds?
Yeah.
It's a wannabe.
Yeah, it's definitely a wannabe.
Yeah. I've never had that. Where's it at?
Murray Hill.
Yeah, Murray Hill. Okay. Right next to Fishwire.
Okay.
Yeah. It was good.
Yeah,
but definitely not Rockies. Rockies was good.
Oh, yeah,
it's
Rockies
so funny because when I first met you talking about Asheville, I'm like, whoa. I was like, we kind of know a lot about that. We've been there a lot, me and Katie and her family.
Well, we had
enjoy it.
The only reason why we found Rockies was we were up there on my bachelor party, and this was before they had. I guess a couple years ago, Asheville adopted a like a brunch law because they wouldn't sell alcohol until like 1 o'clock or something, and then I don't think they'd sell it at all on Sundays if I remember right. And then we were up there on my bachelor party, so we just started calling places trying to find some place that had alcohol or like bottomless mimosas. And that was the only place like that would serve. They had mimosas, and then they had man-mosas, which I think is like it's like a Michelob Ultra and orange juice or something. It's actually pretty good. We've had one, but now they have that brunch law, so everybody serves alcohol on Sundays, like starting at 11 or 11:30, I think. But no, it's.
What was the? They used to not serve alcohol at all on Sunday.
I think that's what it was. And this was was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And I know it changed, probably 3 years ago, maybe longer than that.
I don't know if AJ told you, but we found out the alcohol laws here in Florida Sunday.
Clay County? No, what is it?
Pre-fishing tournament?
No, during the tournament. We, one of the guys said he was going to bring some beer, and I'm like, all right, whatever. So one of the other guys brought waters and drinks, stuff like that. So we stopped there at Brown's to get ice before we put in. And we pulled off. I'm like, y'all didn't get no beer? They're like, oh, man, shit. Turn around and go back to Brown's. They go in there like, hey, can we get some beer? They're like, nope, can't sell till 6. It's like 5:30.
Oh, yeah, 6 a.m. Wow. Yeah, forgot about that.
Didn't even think about that. I guess 2 to 6 can't buy.
What was her recommendation? Just hang
Sit
out till
there
6?
and wait. Yeah, I was like, we can't. Man, we had an eventful day. Like, dude,
Would you put in at Sisters and then ran over to Mayport?
So yeah,
okay.
I don't like putting in at Mayport because getting there for us is just rough as fuck.
Yeah.
Like the road's narrow.
Yeah.
It's just I don't like it. And then I always like to put in at the ramp on the right. I forget the name of it. Joe Carlucci. Yeah. But I like putting in there because like nobody's ever there. We were the second boat put in there.
Only deal is you'll become a man there with the current.
Yes.
Loading and unloading boat.
Curtis dropped me right in the dock one day. Yeah. I seen him backing up, and I couldn't tell which way the current was going yet. And when the boat hit the water, I was like, oh shit, we're like on that side, and I couldn't do nothing.
I learned. Yeah, so that's like the worst place in the world, in my opinion, in Jacksonville.
Yeah, and it's hit or miss though, because like when we loaded the boat, no current at all, like putter right up there.
So yeah, that's cool. That's a legend ramp for sure, Jacksonville.
I like it. Like I said, nobody's ever there. Yeah. It's easy to get in and out, other than the.
My dad would only put in there for I don't know, probably the same reason. Like, oh, Jim King's gonna have 100 boats.
Yeah,
old Carlucci right there, ready to go.
I like the Volano one a lot. The Volano one's nice.
Yeah,
it's
it
big.
is.
They got two. It's pretty easy. They got 2 driveways for it.
Yeah.
They got a bait shop right there.
They just dredged that thing. It was which we came in on. What tournament did we come in there? Oh, we went. No.
Is that? I think that time you were telling me y'all pre-fished.
Yeah, we pre-fished.
Y'all turned the boat into a tiller steer.
Yep, that's right. And then we came in that inlet, and we were bumping. It was obviously came in low tide and bumping bottom. But like I said, it's like a foot deep there on low tide. I don't even think it was a negative tide that day. But yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, they couldn't buy beer. And then we get on the boat, and my buddy that was supposed to buy the bait, I figured he didn't carry cash. And I'm like, hey, you got money for the thing? They probably only take cash. He's like, cash? He's like, I ain't got no cash. I'm like, uh-oh. So Curtis, my other buddy, he's like, man, I got a little bit. And I was like, man, I think I got like a little bit. I was like, I ain't got much. So that's why I called you. I was seeing where you were. I was like, man, I hate to borrow money from this guy, but like we were $5 shy on bait. And I was like, man. Me and Curtis put our money together, and we had, like I said, $5 or $10 shy of it. And I was like, we'll go over there and just see. He said, maybe y'all can talk to somebody on the dock and give you $5 or something.
Right.
And Curtis said he went up there, and I was like, I ain't going up there to get the bait. I'll sit right here on the boat. And so anyways, they go up there, and they told the guy, he said he didn't say much, but he gave us 12.
Dang.
He's like, just give us 11 then if it's that big of a deal. Yeah. But he said they had so much up there. Hell, they were throwing fish out up there.
Sad.
Something was wrong.
Well...
He said he thought something was wrong with the tank or something. He said he was scooping them out of one tank and throwing them out because they were like dead or something. I don't know.
Yeah, all ours were hardy. Did you lose any fish?
No. Shit. We brought home 4.
Yeah,
we didn't even use that much.
Yeah, no, we didn't either. And I bought 2 dozen.
Yeah.
I had $340 worth of bait.
With the weather being as bad as it was, how did that affect like the boat count?
It affected it. Yeah, because usually in prior years it's always been 200, 250 boats.
I was going to say,
yeah.
Which I haven't done it that long, but
300 boats back in the day. But I just think
they just had a tournament had almost 700 boats, and then this one.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
Which I know that's a little different deal there, but still, like we can't even get half of that.
No, it's just like I said. Mr. Don did a great. Has done it for so many years. It's just tough because there's a tournament this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a tournament next weekend.
King?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, basically there's a tournament from here.
That's what he said, but I didn't know.
So the Firecrackers this weekend, I think. Yeah, the Firecrackers this weekend, and then the following weekend, 4th of July, I think there's not really nothing going on. There might be the Ancient City. I don't think they have anything there. And then you got the Greater Jacks.
Yeah.
But basically you're from the beginning or July kickoff, July, August, or actually June, July, August 3 months, it's basically a tournament every weekend. So there was nowhere for him to fit that in. Like the next date would have been like August 17th or something crazy. So, you know, I don't know. It's just a tough call, but it all worked out. You know, there were some fish caught. Like I said, just, you know, at the end of the day, I suck.
I felt like we saw 3 different days. Like, leaving the inlet was pretty sporty. Like, it wasn't terrible even on our boat. Like, it was bouncy, but it wasn't too much. And then about midday, man, it got hot and slick and no wind. I was like, it's beautiful, but it's burning up out here. I got a bimini top on my boat. We left it at home. Right. You know, it kind of gets in the way, and I was like, we don't need it. And yeah, it got pretty warm. And then there, like, I guess around 1, 2, as the wind picked up, I was like, this feels good. But then it just, like, kept picking up. That's when it started white capping. Yeah. And we actually come in early. It was like 2:15. I was like, look, we ain't caught a fish. We probably ain't going to catch a fish. Let's get in before it gets too nasty, because it was starting to stack up.
Yeah, it got pretty it got pretty crazy. Not crazy, but for your boat, I would have been.
Which we were, maybe 2 miles outside the rocks.
Okay.
You know, so we weren't far. We started working our way back when it started getting windy.
Yeah, our last stop, we were about 6 miles offshore, and, you know, it just got bigger and bigger and bigger, and, you know, but we decided the water was just dirty everywhere, man. Even like that 14-mile number I had, that is pretty much guaranteed. Every junior angler I go there and let the boys get some fish, not a whiff. Like I said, I didn't have a mackerel bite all day long. Not one single one. Caught some sharks.
Yeah.
But
I think we had one, man. Like, we had what?
No, I got a question whenever you finish up.
Well, I was going to talk to you about this either on air or off air, but I guess it's going to be on air. So, like, we got to the first spot, 7:30, things pull and drag, like running like a king, running offshore, like just running with it. So we finally get things put up and we start going after the fish, and it's like it's pulling. I'm like, daggone. Well, then I wasn't on the reel. I was just watching, so I couldn't really tell. But, like, all of a sudden things kind of got real weird there. Like, it stopped, and, like, we gained, and then it just kind of, like, it looked like we went slack. Like, rod tip was straight up. And I'm like, dude, crank on that thing, you know? And it just kind of, like, went limp there, and then next thing you know, it started getting loaded up again. Well, then it wasn't a few seconds later, shark jumps out of the water.
Oh, wow.
So I ain't sure we didn't have, like, a small king or something.
Definitely.
And then the dang shark ate it.
Yeah. For sure.
But, you know, like I told him, I was like, I don't think there's nothing we could have done. I mean, we could have put more pressure on the thing, but it was still running. Right. Like, it got to its run. We started catching line up on it, and then that's when it kind of, like, acted weird, and then that shark jumped out of the water.
With stuff like that, like, I know a while back, well, actually, it was that year that we were at the lake house. Those guys got popped with putting all the weight in the fish. But, like, how... Obviously, I don't know anything about fishing, especially fishing tournaments. Like, what's the... You know, especially... It seems like not many people caught fish over the weekend, and then the dudes that did catch fish caught really big ones. Like, is that just luck of the draw, or
no? There was, so them guys, you know, there's Freemans out there, you know, so these guys were able to make a run, or a 9 contender, or 36. You know, these guys made a run offshore. Water's clean offshore, regardless. There's nothing to really dirty it up. You know, you're talking about 150 foot of water. Is different than, you know, you're fishing in 20, 30 foot of water, and there's just waves all week, you know, just dirty up the water and get all the silt in there. So them guys made, you know, I'm not saying that a big fish didn't come off the beach, but I know several of the fish that were caught, and they were definitely caught offshore. And
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah, like, you just got to risk it for the biscuit. And like I said, his tournament's always been an open tournament.
What does that mean?
So no boundaries.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
you can run Port Canaveral. You can run the, you know, obviously it was shitty weather and no one probably made it.
We just have to be back by a certain time.
Yep. Lines out at 3 o'clock. Well, you know, there was changes made because of the way you combine everything, but lines were out at 3 o'clock, and then you had to be in the weigh-in line visible by 4 p.m., correct?
Yeah.
Like I said, because he changed a bunch of rules. And
but obviously there was no line.
No, there was no line. It was insane. So, you know, I never, you know, I take it very serious. So for me to zero, I want to cry. And I get very, mad. I'm like, what could I have done different? Start running through your brain. And so my buddies, they wanted to go there to the weigh-in where I'm not. I'm like,
yeah,
I'm ready to roll, check out. But like I said, we went over there and, seen some fish, and then I seen the results. I'm like, wow. It was just a tough day. And like I said, I got a buddy, Chris Hendricks, I talked to throughout the day, Hammer. Their team name's Chum On. And they struggle. They didn't get a mackerel bite all day, and they're hammers. They're good. And
was the winning people local or?
Yeah, it was pretty much local. Which I think, I can't remember. Don't quote me on this because, like I said, I'm kind of a show up and show out guy now. I don't really get into the politics or anything of it anymore. But I know this used to be a SKA like sanctioned event and stuff. So, which that was like the Southern Kingfish Association. Used to have have a card back then when my dad done it when I was younger, and a lot went into it. So, yeah, I don't think this, with the weather and everything that happened this week, I don't think, like I said, there was only, I think, 95 boats that showed up.
Yeah. Would them boats go out of Mayport that one?
I don't know that.
I was kind of curious that they went out of north or south.
Yeah. I know weigh-in regardless, which, yeah.
That was another thing I thought they changed, but Curtis that went to the captain's meeting with me, I didn't realize there was a lady angler bonus, and then I seen that later, and then I didn't realize you could drive your fish to the weigh-in.
Right. Yeah.
I saw that on Saturday or something after the tournament. Did that change?
Yeah, he announced it at the tournament. Yeah, the captain's meeting.
Okay.
And it might have been on the back of the card, but he definitely announced that at the captain's meeting.
I must have misheard it because I thought he said you couldn't. You had a boat there, so that was another reason why. Which it wouldn't have mattered because our setup, we weren't going to win anyways. You know what I mean? That was set up for the big boats. I feel like that could get to them, but
no, it was definitely a hard tournament. The Greater Jacks is coming up. That they're going to have a beach tournament. So that's just just like the shootout. You didn't do the shootout, right?
No.
So the Greater Jacks on 13th of July.
That's what we're shooting for that.
Right, and that's just a beach tournament. So pretty level field there. And then the following weekend is the general tournament, and then that'll be pretty much off. You can run offshore. Yeah. You still catch them on the beach, but
I think it's cool, man. I like it. We didn't have these kind of tournaments in North Carolina. We had king tournaments, but it was legit. Them guys are professionals doing it, and we had no beach tournaments, which I don't think the Kings. I mean, they're close, but they're not on the beach like they are here. So that's probably some of the reason. But I never had any interest to do any kind of tournaments till I got here and seen it. And me and my brother-in-law come into town last year, and he wanted to go catch kingfish, and so I was learning whatever. And we get to the boat ramp that morning, and I was like, "There's a tournament." Sure enough, we pull out of the rocks because we were right behind checkout because there were still boats catching fish when we pulled out of the rocks. I was like, uh-oh. So, but it was cool because, man, I got to see, big contenders to Carolina skiffs out there.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see. And, heck, there was even, I think, some flats boats out there, too.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
1 year, 10, 15, or 20 years ago, at least, one of the Greater Jacks got one out of a John boat.
Really?
Around the chum hole. Or a little Carolina skiff, something small.
Yeah.
Probably changed that. I'm sure he won a boat that year. Like I said, who knows?
Yeah, that deal's pretty cool.
But we got to get off this fishing subject.
Yeah,
because my boy AJ,
I don't care.
No,
he's gonna cut it all out.
Yeah, he's gonna get us. He's already mad.
We're gonna take a 2-hour podcast down to 40 minutes. Just cut out all that stuff.
Yeah. So we'll
I got one more question about the tournament then.
Okay.
And so since it was consolidated to one day, did y'all how did that work with the difference between the when there are multiple categories?
Yeah. So there was a junior angler tournament and a general tournament, and then like I said, there was bonus prizes too. Single engine division. So he was theoretically in up for the single engine.
Did anybody win that?
I don't know that. I'm sure, or maybe not. Maybe every boat that got weighed in was all,
Yeah. I was curious of that. Like, that was my biggest question is, did anybody on the single engine? Because, I don't think them guys would make that big of a run because you got to have a boat.
Well, no, it's like my buddy Chris. He's running a 27 CV.
Yeah, we seen him there getting bait.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So,
so if, like, the winning guy caught 2 fish, could he enter? Was he able to enter both categories?
So you had to make a decision before you went up there. So it kind of made it a little bit harder too. At that point, but also for the top 5, you had to have video evidence of the kid catching the fish. So there was no cheating. You know what I'm saying? At that point, you just didn't. So like our boat, every time the rod went off, it was.
Cody, grab this.
Yeah, well, yeah. They're which, like I said, they've been doing this a long time too. So they get it. Like I said, Cody's 16. He's been doing this since he was. I got little videos of him right now. It makes me want to cry. But yeah, he's out there 4 or 5 years old, 6 years old.
That's
cranking
cool.
on mackerel. So at that point, it's all about the kids anyway. If one made a real big run or something, I want to say at this point in the game, man, it didn't matter. It was let the boys, even if it was a 50, let the boys, and we were fishing for junior at that point. But yeah, theoretically, you had to choose between the general tournament and the junior angler, and then like I said, if you had a lady on the boat, you could have entered the ladies division, and
one fish per boat,
right? But no, you could. Yeah, you basically, if you'd have had 2 50-pounders, you could have had a 50-pounder for the general and a 50-pounder for the junior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you're allowed. I think the new I don't know how new the regulations are, but I think it's 2 mackerel per person per day. So, you keep whatever. I don't ever keep them. Me, if it's not going in a box for, and I love eating mackerel. Let's get that straight. It's, people can say whatever they want. It's really good. I don't eat a whole abundance of it.
Yeah.
But, so like a tournament fish or a fish that we gaff or we don't gaff, like, we're eating that thing. Like I said, the shootout, we end up frying up the mackerel the next day.
The one that y'all call and weighed?
Yep. No, not the one. They kept the fish.
I was wondering.
We had one that was, before I put the gaff in him, it was pretty close. Like, is he much bigger? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he's pretty decent. And, obviously looking for, you want to weigh a fish in.
Yeah.
So I think it was like 23 or 24 pounds. So I went ahead and put a gaff in it because who knows if we'd have caught another fish that day. And then we upgraded by a few pounds, but we only gaffed 2 fish that day. So one went to the tournament, and then the other one, we went home and cleaned it and, soak it in buttermilk, and I fried it up the next day.
Nice.
It was good. But yeah, to answer your question, there were several tournaments there.
So originally it was supposed to be general on Saturday.
Yep.
Only, and then
junior angler,
and then
only.
Junior only Sunday.
Yep. Junior's always about the kids. On the second day, that Sunday, it's all At that point, you're just, there's no stress. But you're fishing for a boat. You know what I'm saying? These kids got a 18-foot Carolina skiff with I think like a 115 or 90 Suzuki. Probably valued at 50 grand, 30 with a float-on trailer. Not no crappy trailer, good trailer. So it's a big prize.
Yeah, 16-year-olds could flip that pretty quick.
Yeah. So, but
I don't know, I'd probably look good behind a little Tacoma though.
Yeah, no, Cody would have definitely. I really had. This is last year as a junior. Kind of sad because he's weighed a fish every year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Tag on.
Because basically, and for the juniors as a kids, every fish that's weighed, even if it's 8 pounds, you get a prize.
Yeah.
So Don's big on the kids, and these are good prizes. This ain't a Zebco 303 reel. This is kayaks and bean bags and
there's some fish
nice not rod and reels, but like some pin stuff, like good stuff. So, like I said, top 20, I think, is getting a pretty badass kayak.
Yeah.
And then, you start getting, after that, you start getting a $200-300 beanbag. I think he had like 150 of them.
I knew it wasn't looking good when I checked it. Obviously, same deal. It's like, we ain't going away, and we rode on by. Right. I looked on their Facebook page, and like, even if you didn't weigh a fish, you can still come to the raffle. I'm like, that ain't good.
No, it was tough, man. Definitely
like
tough.
Maybe Brian wasn't lying to me.
No, but I'm telling you, and like, we're all three out there and we never got mad as crazy because I'm very competitive, and we kind of all three looked at each other and was like just in disbelief.
Yeah.
Because we, the weekend before, I had these fish figured out. Like, it was, we caught 20 fish that day.
Yeah.
It was like, had a plan. Obviously we weren't able to get out that week because no pre-fishing. But like I said, if I would have not had the kids, there's no excuse. I suck. I didn't produce a fish. But if I wouldn't have had some kids on the boat, we'd have made a long run that day, and I'm not, it's fishing at the end of the day. Can't guarantee anything, but I'd have felt a lot better.
Yeah.
But anyways, it is what it is.
Yeah,
but,
not to add salt to the wound. The guy the kid the junior that won, how far offshore did they go? They made that run?
Oh yeah, but he's in
was that the
40? He's in 47 Freeman.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Daggone. Was that a 50-pounder?
No, that was entered in the general.
Oh okay.
One Time, I think, is the boat name that won it. I don't know what they fish out of, but yeah, the boy that won it. Yeah.
Them dudes are chilling.
Yeah, like I said,
riding out on that 47.
Yeah, they were coming in behind me. I'm in a 32 yellowfin. I'm hitting 30 coming through the inlet. I think he's running 50, 60, just killing it. Like, that boat ride's so good. I've been able to be on a Freeman before, and they ride sensational.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, fishing over. We are talking about what's next.
Being a part-time savage.
Yeah.
Other part-time.
Yeah, see, we're part-time savages.
Yeah.
We're part-time fishermen, part-time race car drivers.
Yeah, I'm not really the part-time race car driver. Well, I guess he's part-time race car driver.
Yeah.
Well, you're about to get that thing rolling. He's got y'all don't let him. He's got him a brand new rig in there.
Brand new to me. That's been sitting there for almost a year now.
What's it called?
The car?
Yeah, it's been there for a bit.
A Legends car, right?
Yeah, we got a little Legends car back there.
I can't wait to get
Part-time
it.
savages.
It ain't gonna sound that dumb, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
it sound a little bit.
I'm good with my
manlier.
live axle go kart that I had when I was like 5 years old with like little Briggs and Stratton.
Yeah.
Dude, I remember I had one of those, and then we went out to 103rd Street before I started racing go-karts. I remember I went through the fence with it.
Well, we had those little knobby tire, you know what I'm saying? It grips like if you turn a little bit, you're flipping that thing on asphalt.
When I lived in North Carolina, and like all we did was racing. Like I said, off season we'd get go-karts, and there was a little pavement track and just like outside of town there behind this roofing company. Beautiful track. We'd go out there and get 3 or 4 or 5 of us out there beating and banging all night, and had lights. It was awesome. I mean, we raced during the week, weekends, and everything.
Yeah, I think we just need to get like a little 50 track going, and then we'll just get like 6 to 10 50s, and then we'll do like Nitro Circus.
Yeah.
Have like the 50cc World Championships.
Oh, that would be awesome if we just built us a track.
Turn this place into what was Nitro Circus, or what was Rob Dyrdek's
the Fanny? Yeah, so this will be like a mix between like we'll do like a podcast studio / fantasy factory.
Yeah, he had like ramps and foam pits and all that stuff there. Basketball goals.
The building next door was they had a big half pipe in there.
Oh really?
Because you could walk upstairs, and then there's like a big handrail still where you could go over there and watch everybody on the half pipe.
Nice.
But yeah,
I mean, it's kind of getting that way. We got a chipping pad and
Yeah,
the other room there. Yeah, putting green.
We got a full blown nursery.
Yeah, I was about to say we even got the nursery.
Yeah,
kids room.
Yeah. Man, I'm telling you, we could live here. You know, we got a full kitchen.
Yeah, we got water.
We do have a van out front. That we can live in.
We'll pull it inside if we were getting that.
Yeah.
Getting that fancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boats have been in here a time or two.
Hell, he just pulled his boat out.
Oh yeah, your boat's been in here over here, just eating it up. You don't want to see the end of the month though when he bills you.
Yeah,
storage, it's pricey.
No wonder he didn't fire me after yesterday.
Yeah,
maybe that's why.
We had a good time yesterday.
Yeah.
So seeking sponsorship for I don't know, we'll have to maybe 2025 season. CRG would look good on the hood.
As soon as he gets his toes wet in that, he's going to want to go racing.
I know, but I'm so disappointed in it.
Why?
Because, man, when you go down that rabbit hole of racing.
He just, the mini cup just didn't give him it wasn't enough of a drug for him.
My brother-in-law, he just races all the time. And he builds and, it's like he gets into mud dragsters to mini cups.
Is this...
Mike.
Yeah. And to late model
iRacing.
It's just RC car racing.
Yeah.
The sucker cut down a go-kart frame and turned it into a full-blown late model with a weed eater engine and was racing. I don't even know what scale that was. Like 8th scale was like this probably. So this is like 1/5 scale or bigger. Oh, no, he was racing 1/5. Yeah. This is like 1th scale. Literally, he had a goddamn servo in that thing this big to run the steering. I forget.
Weighed more than the motor in it.
I think he used a windshield wiper motor for steering.
Dude, that's so cool. Yeah. I told AJ I want to go over there so bad. I didn't realize it was kind of far out of town, but I want to go over there because that stuff's like cool to me.
He would love for us to go out, and we just drive, get out there and go look at all of his crap. Like I say, right now he's building an excavator.
Yeah, that thing is so cool.
Yeah, so he's out of control.
That's what I told him. I was like, dude, there's a lot of work in that metal work. Somebody's got a machine and weld all that stuff. Like, I want to go see it. That looks cool.
Yeah. So, I don't know, man. It's I just know when AJ gets, getting back in that race car, because let's be real here. You're like a national champion, right? Go-karts or something?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Yeah, but let's talk about it. What is it? What are you?
Yeah, we won national championship, a couple Florida State championships, a couple Georgia State championships.
Yeah, this guy freaking, all the kids were, trying to wreck him and stuff, and he's just beating them up.
You gonna tell the audience what he looked like sitting in that thing though?
Oh man, I got some
stud.
Picture. Yeah, he was like 6'4", weighed about 34 pounds. With a little haircut.
No, I'm talking about when he said it the other day what he looked like.
Oh, yeah.
But it wasn't that bad.
We got to get a stretch unit on that thing.
But we had to cram a late model seat in there because I'm a dad. I can't be getting hurt. I think it's a little death trap.
Well, that's a little short for you.
Oh, so people don't go to that extreme with them seats?
They make like white versions.
Yeah. I mean, that's
kind of funny because like back in my...
I ain't getting hurt.
Yeah. Well, it's like in my hunting days, it's like whenever I was like over that 250 mark, all the tree stands climbers are ready for like 250. Yeah. And I'm like, but they make big boy models too.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wonder if I'm stressing this aluminum out a little too much. Maybe I need to go to the hefty side. But
I'm sure they probably give you a couple pounds in there. Like they say 250, you actually hold 275.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Some of them, that stuff looks like it's rated for 250, and at 251 it's breaking.
Yeah.
Some stuff like that.
So
that's like the Harbor Freight version.
Do y'all wear like a Hans device?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know you do. I didn't know about these.
I'd hope he does.
Oh yeah.
A big thing, like, even I done it at one point, like didn't wear gloves, and people that's been in racing a long time like was on my ass about that. I'm like, man, I didn't wear gloves there for a little. Like when I raced, I would, but there was like a couple days went and just practiced and didn't wear gloves. Like it felt way better, and they were on my ass. They're like, look, I'm not going to racetrack with you unless you wear gloves. I'm
dude,
like,
how could you even touch the shifter?
Yeah, dude, it was hot. Yeah, that was the biggest thing. And I was like, well, that thing's hot. And then after that, now I'm that freak. I'm like, when I see people without gloves, I go up there and I'm like, dude, put gloves on.
Is it really because of fires or?
Yeah. Especially
everything's just so hot, man.
Yeah. Well, everything's hot, and then too, like if you have something, then we've had it with our motors where like the flywheel comes apart and it knocks the back of the pan off, and then you got an oil fire and it like flashes inside the car, it'll burn you.
Oil fires are the worst.
Have you ever peed in the car?
No. I've tried and I couldn't do it.
Dude, I was this close to peeing in the car, but at New Smyrna. But before I got in the car, Kurt goes, "Do not pee in my seat," and that was the reason why I didn't.
So did you get out or what?
No, that was the whole like post-race interview thing. I was like, dude, I asked him like 4 times if I could go to the restroom, and they're like, "Well, no, you can't leave the car." And I was like, "Well, y'all need to like hurry up." I was like, I gotta take a leak so bad. And then and then I knew that we were gonna be close on left side, because when we rolled through after the heat race, we were like on it, and I was like, well, dude, if I got 6 pounds of water in me, I was like, I need to get that out, because that's not going to help our left side, because we had my helmet and everything, stashed on the right side of the car to roll through tech anyways. But yeah, that was very uncomfortable.
Wow.
The only time
pee in a jug or anything?
Man, the only I feel like, especially now, you sweat so much at the racetrack. Like, if I go use the bathroom before the race, I'm good. The only time that I've had to pee like mid-race is when we had red flags and like you fully cool off. Yeah. Like, we actually got out of the car and like cooled off, quit sweating, and then it's like kind of hit me. But I've never, like, you get in the car, it's so hot, you're sweating so much, you're not thinking about it. I was so
paranoid. I got my little jug that I carry around. I knocked out a gallon before the race, and then I was like, I hadn't been in a car for so long, and then September at New Smyrna, it was 100 degrees out at 8 o'clock at night, and I was just so paranoid.
Dude, I will say that, and I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I feel like the heat down here is not the same heat in North Carolina.
Dude, this heat,
like, it's so funny. It's like
miserable.
Our 92, 95 down here is like they're 80 up there. I feel like, I've seen the weather for next week. It's gonna be like in the 90s, and like,
it's gonna be. It's way hotter down here.
They're gonna for sure. Yeah.
I thought you were saying like
if it's 95 down here, if it's like 85 there, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's hot. I'm like,
well, because I before that race, I was like, oh man, I was like, can I get one of those like helmet fans? And you're like, dude, I don't ever use helmet fans. And then I was like,
was it a 50 lapper?
It was a 100 lapper. And dude, I had my shield up, like every caution. I had my hand out the window. I was like, dude, I just get some damn air circulating in this car. And then I know the other kid that was driving the other car, like he had that nice little like intercooler set up, like AC. They have like a helmet fan, and it's essentially like a Peltier chip. So once I'd get like the cooler, you make the hot side, the colder the cold side gets, and it just has air that moves across that, so it's just cooling ambient temperature. It'll cool ambient temperature 30 degrees or whatever. And
we can put in a legend car for you if we need to, Brown.
No, we're doing a screen, because then it makes you feel like you're going way faster.
Yeah, I don't know. When's this hitting the track?
Well, man,
I'm gonna put money on it. He might be able to do it, but I feel like Brian's definitely gonna spin out within the first. If he's like going, like trying to go fast, within 5 laps, he's gonna spin out.
How many times do you think he'll stall it from a dead stop?
Never.
The first time.
No.
4 times in a row.
Legends,
4 times in a row.
The Legends car?
Yeah.
So it's not a reverse clutch, right? It's just regular clutch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the clutch pedal moves like this much, but only like this much of it matters. So it's like you have to like essentially, because all it is it's a stupid, like, think of a motorcycle. Think of like your hand clutch on a motorcycle. It's just got a stick on it.
Yeah, you got a super long pedal now.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna, like I said,
I
don't know.
We'll push you. We'll give you like a little
that
push.
motor is not as bad as that new motor they got, that FZ or whatever. Yeah. That one is really bad. Like, even I struggle with it.
So what is this gonna be, like a quarter-mile track?
It depends on where you want to go.
Well, no, somewhere that's
safe.
Yeah. What are you gonna spin that thing up to? Like, are you gonna run like 60 around the track?
At least.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, they're like, some places are fast as late models.
I ain't doing that shit. You kidding me? Got dang little box car over there.
Yeah, not with that attitude.
Yeah.
Bro.
You sound scared already.
Yeah, like, that thing is... Yeah, I can't even... The problem is I can't even get in it, because...
You'll get the bug?
Yeah, I would buy probably something. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it. I got too much crap, You
don't have enough time for a new hobby.
No, man. I got $20,000 worth of bicycles hanging on the wall right now, and it's...
Well, we can fix that. We'll go break them out. I seen AJ's the other day. He said his is still hanging.
Yeah. Going to that story, like, 6 months ago. I don't know how long ago, but anyway, AJ's like, hey man, I found this one cool kid. He'll go mountain biking with you. I was like, I don't know this guy.
Yeah. Then I shared his number. You never even responded to him, and now look at him. Y'all are best friends. Yeah. Y'all are calling each other throughout the day.
Yeah. But no,
talking
AJ,
fishing.
But AJ, that's the thing is I can't get him to go riding. I would love to just go have a good time, go to the NAS, or what is that place called on NAS? I know you hate it.
Fowler.
Tilly Fowler.
Like just go do one little ride there, 30, 45-minute ride on a weeknight.
Let's go.
What did you end up buying?
I got a Trek Top Fuel. I've had it for probably 6-7 years now.
Yeah. I got a specialized something pro comp. It's like
I don't doubt
like
it.
A stump jumper, maybe?
Oh yeah, maybe.
Stump jumper? I don't take you as a stump jumper kind of guy.
I don't know what it is. $5,000 bike.
Cross country, full suspension, yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
I think stump jumper.
Fox, everything. Yeah. Like
I figured.
Way too much bike for him.
Yeah,
you know
for
I mean?
Sure. No, I need
but
a Huffy.
He likes the Cadillac ride.
Well, no, but it's still not. Everything
ride.
I get though is still not good enough. Like he's got.
Oh yeah.
Some custom Scott thing with digital something gears or it's mine's always a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? Even like last year we were at the lake or 2 years ago, and he's got this carbon gravel bike, and we went to Asheville. That's what it is, and I don't know. I got mine's got carbon forks. It was like $2,500 bike. And like AJ was like, yeah, that's a piece of shit. Mine's way better. But see, AJ.
Well, I learned a lot about him, so that comes from his triathlon mentality.
Yeah.
I learned that triathletes are latest, greatest.
Absolutely.
Gotta have. Could be worse.
Marginal gains.
But it could be worse for him. But that they feel like they're getting a gain out of it, it's going to be better than whatever.
Half of it's mental.
Yeah. But he found so that's the thing.
Well, when you show up with a double stack to the track, you already feel good about yourself.
Oh. I've never done it, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
well, I didn't do it until the last time I went to the track, and I was like, sure, I can get used to this.
And you about won the race.
Yep.
So I guess there is some truth to it.
Yep. The ego is already. I was like, oh damn, I'm here.
Well,
I've arrived.
I set up the car, so that's the reason why he won.
No, actually, Ben set up the car. You had nothing to do with it.
Was you there?
Yeah,
he was the one that set the car up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It was fun.
That's funny.
AJ didn't show up for practice day though. That was a total letdown for me. I don't know what happened, but he was supposed to be there to practice and never showed up.
Buddy, he will
flaked out on me.
Buddy, yeah, it's
believe me, to go drive a race car, I wouldn't miss much. But this whole thing started like on a Wednesday. Race day was Saturday, so we already had a lot going on to even get the car ready. And then he's like, well, why don't you just come down and test on Friday? It's like, dude, I got dad duty.
Yeah.
Hell, he brought the whole family to the beach. They were so tired after the race, he had to stay in Daytona.
Oh, yeah. Yep. No, I'm surprised that he really even went to the race. I really kind of had a side bet that he wouldn't be able to go.
Honestly, I was expecting him to show up on his bicycle.
Well, that was the original
let me
plan.
know he rode from here to there.
Well, yeah.
100.
Well, he's also rode bikes with Jimmy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson. Yeah. I was gonna call him Jimi Hendrix, but it's Hendrix Motorsports. Jimmy Johnson. See how I can get it mixed up.
Well.
But yeah, he thinks he's cool. Him and Jimmy. Oh, I'm out here riding with Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy follows me on Strava.
Oh, big time.
Yep.
Yeah, how's them Strava numbers right now?
Not very good. Yeah. I'm not gonna link my Strava in.
See, he knows where you're at. Like he knows because he's like. He's got his stuff hidden all private, Don't let nobody know. He's not going to tell them the truth.
On Strava?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wide open.
No,
I made it wide open
since
for the
you started pushing the kids around in the stroller.
Yeah, we're not even. I don't even think we're friends on any. I can't keep up because he deletes the stuff and then he adds.
Every now and then it's funny. He'll slide in and drop a like or kudos on my workout or whatever.
His workout was like him wheeling around on that little his little cart
on my knee scooter.
Yeah,
dude, that was my thing. Like shit, I was couch ridden. It felt like for months, and when I'd get out of the house and my caretaker and my wife would take me out to the park, we just make laps. It was fun. That was like the highlight of my day.
Did you keep that thing?
Yeah.
Is it on sale?
No, it's a war slam out in the building right now.
Hey, if you want to bring it over here, my boy will put it on eBay for you. That thing sold. He's good at it. Oh, man.
Yeah, I ought to do that. I'll sell it all. The crutches, everything. Boot, I'm done with it. Hopefully for good.
Yeah, that was, well, you were down, 6 months?
4.
Yeah.
Well, I was non-weight bearing for 9 weeks, so yeah, it was like probably 4 months.
Your left knee?
Yeah, left leg.
Left leg.
Yeah.
What was your like car owner and all them doing while you were on the mend?
Going crazy. Everything was like chill. He started that second team. Everything was kind of chill. It was like just on pause until I got back, ready.
That's nice.
And then that quickly changed into a rental deal. Well, then that was a disaster. It seemed like, they had failures, wrecked, didn't run good. So now we've kind of stepped back and punting over. Gonna get everything back right and try to go win a race.
You gonna be running the same car that you ran before, like chassis, motor, and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever go pick that one up off the porch?
Yeah, actually, I didn't get to go pick it up off the porch, but yes, somebody picked it up off the porch. Yeah. We're going to, I'm excited about that to see, because that's very rare that a car doesn't perform, and it can happen, and it's happened before, but it's very rare. So I'm excited to be the one to drive it. I like kind of doing that stuff is like
problem solving, just like fishing and
yeah, like I like that, and that's one thing I've loved about racing is like, all these crew chiefs and people that work on it, got their own theory. Well, like I get to actually test and feel that theory, and I'm like, some stuff I'm like, you're right, but then some stuff they're like way wrong, and I've always said it, I'm the opposite. Like when I get outside the race car, like I don't know what's going on. Like I can see a little bit, and I've got better over the last couple of years of being able to tell like what a car's doing, but also I've looked at a car and I'm like, man, that thing looks terrible, and then I drive it, I'm like, it's really not that bad,
Yeah.
But it looks terrible, or it's the opposite. It looks good, but it's terrible. You know what I mean? So like props to them guys that can crew chief a car from the outside, but I can't. Like to me, like what it might look like and what you feel and do is so different.
Well, no.
So like that's been, like I said, really good. That's one thing I love to do is like when we go test is like try different things and test people's theories on stuff and figure out, But with that said is like it's different every racetrack, every condition kind of changes.
But I mean, also how often when you're helping other people out, like does the driver fudge it to make it, if the driver has an idea, and then you give them what your feedback is, they go out with your idea, make it seem like it's worse, and then they just make it to prove a point. They'll be like, oh well, yeah, it could be way worse, but they'll just so they don't feel like an idiot.
Yeah, and that's that was kind of. It wasn't a struggle, but like that's something I didn't have the most confidence in. Like when I was working on the straight rail stuff, or like late model stock, when I go work on that thing, and like when I went back to North Carolina and worked on that car that I built for the guy I worked for last year, another kid drove it, and it was like I knew what my adjustments in car was capable of doing with what, because I've already tested and ran all that stuff at this track. It was just a matter of getting him to feel it and if he liked that, And some drivers are like that, like. They don't like the same stuff I do. Over the years that some of the guys that's been team cars, same car and stuff, like we've talked and stuff, and they might like one thing different. But like that aspect, I have like the most confidence with the RNS car and late model stock because I've done it so long. And so like it was really cool to like go to the racetrack with him, who was like, he didn't have a lot. Blaze didn't have a lot of experience, but I felt like he was a good race car driver. So like everything we put on and end up sitting on the pole winning the race, like that was really cool because like I felt really good about it. He was like picking it up and liking it too, so things were like clicking and going really good. But like I said, with the straight rail stuff, I just didn't have the confidence because it's been so long since I've done that stuff and like drove it and felt that stuff back to back, so I kind of had to rely on
straight rail being like super late models, pro late models.
Yeah, had to rely on driver feedback more than my personal experiences with it.
Nice.
Recently, so yeah.
You looking at your watch? You got a dip here soon?
No. I was just.
I know he's got to head up to North Carolina here for too long.
What time do you have to go?
Well, I got physical therapy first, and then I got to slide up to North Carolina. Actually, got to finish packing.
Oh, boy.
Just trying to make sure, yeah.
Nothing like live motorsports. Got, phones and.
Well, I was trying to make sure I was going to make it there on time.
Well, yeah, no, we can. Anytime we can wrap this up.
We can wrap it up.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah.
And then, of course, any kind of how people can find you. First off, what's your Strava? That's most important.
Strava is my name, but it's not my picture.
Yeah, maybe you need that. Like that'll be some incentive. Just like put your Strava out there. You get some more followers.
Well,
that.
yeah.
And you'll be like, well, shit. Now I got to go wheel around in my little cart a little bit more.
Well, definitely need to give the Strava shout out, but we need to go log some miles. So
yeah.
Well, I think you got to. We can start that. We can start the build for the river run next year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. I need to talk to the previous podcast guest. Yeah. He might be able to help me.
Yeah. Actually, I heard I'm pretty good. We found that out in the last one.
As a trainer?
Good, yeah, as a coach.
Coach?
Yeah. I don't take shit from no one.
No, he's a really good coach. He's just better.
And if you're going to be lazy, I'll just tell you that you're being gay and you need to
But the good thing is you need to make sure that AJ has something that he's working towards as well.
Way easier.
Yeah.
If it's the same goal,
I got to hold him accountable for something.
Yes, yeah.
But if we all go for the same race, then it's a lot easier.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't. There's no way I can run anything.
I don't know. Like I'm not gonna be.
I'm like the finisher. We talked about last while. Yeah. I'm the finisher guy.
You want to be a completer or a competer? That's my motto.
Yeah. I can't be a competitor. Like that's like another thing too. Like unless you're in that first, what do they call the
first wave?
What first wave? You're like.
Yeah, but if you go
running with a herd of cattle.
I know, but that's the idea. Is you go and do like a 5K, and then you can seed.
Oh yeah.
And then I seed like it's.
But I'm nowhere near that. Like I'm going to run.
But even if you go run a 26-minute 5K, you get seeded in like red or something, which is, it's pro.
What can you run? Like a 10-minute mile or?
Oh man, I don't. It's been so long since I've actually like tried. I really don't remember. Like average, I could go out with Katie in easily 10-minute miles for 3 to 4 miles.
Oh, that's good. That's real good.
But like I'm not real fast. Like to push, like I don't know. I don't know when the last time I've ran hard.
My fastest 5K ever was 25 something, or maybe I got in the 24s.
Yeah, I think it was at the pumpkin run. You were like 24.
Yeah. Like
24 high or something.
Yeah.
I have to look. Yeah, I haven't.
That's like 8-minute mile.
I'm looking more to get back on the bicycle. I love the bike, man. When I got introduced to mountain biking, I was like super scared at first because I was never a 2-wheel guy, like always 4 wheels. And so it was so funny. I remember I was telling AJ I rode with guys that was like riding motocross and what's the stuff they do? What, scramble or whatever they call it?
Yeah, the scramble courses.
Yeah,
like
they would do. They would do all that stuff. So like these dudes are like, these dudes are like legit.
Yeah.
So like when we hit the downhill sections, like they disappear from me. I'm riding the brakes all the way down,
too.
you know. And so finally, I was able where I could hang at the end of before I moved, and we kind of split up there, but I could finally hang with them. But yeah, at first I was like so scared, you know. It's so funny. Them dudes are just ripping down there, nothing but dust flying.
So what is your Strava?
Just my name, Jared Fryar.
Jared Fryar.
Yep. And then
it's a picture of a big old boy on a little bike.
Hell yeah.
That's what it's about.
You might have to you could probably pop up the Strava picture on the podcast. I think it look cool, huh?
Yeah, I think you think my editing skills are a lot further along than they are.
And then everybody will pick up y'all when they look at it and we go ride together. So
we'll get that.
We need to do it. Go hit Tilly Fowler when everybody gets back from vacation.
For sure.
That'd be good. That or we go over to truck trails.
I'm down. I'd love to go there.
Do a little Wicked Barley. Awesome. A little shout out Wicked Barley.
Yeah.
And then do some truck trails.
That'd be fun.
That'd be good times. I think it's only the weekends though that they're open.
Yeah.
And then check out truck trails with Sorba, because I know they always got some fun stuff going on.
Yeah.
But then Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram. I think it's Jared Fryar 14, which I don't really post a lot now. My racing page on Facebook is more where you can find information.
Facebook, who does that?
And us Racecar drivers, I guess.
Is it like Jared Fryar fan page?
Yeah.
Is it a fan page?
It's not a fan page. It's like athlete page, or they call it whatever. But
What's the title though? Is it say Jared Fryar fan
no,
page?
No.
It's Jared Fryar.
Yeah.
Just look him up. He's from Trinity, North Carolina.
Now residing in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, well, like I said, I had fun.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
You coming in.
A good time.
Yeah.
We'll
I think we got a couple other people that he wants to jump on with whenever they coming on.
Yeah, sweet.
So
good
we'll,
deal.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's fun.
We'll get that, and then we'll just go from there. But
all right.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, guys.
Thanks if you made it this far.
Yep. It's been a wild ride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See y'all.
All right, later.